Hey, it's Matt from Hidden Machine, here one last time for one more video in our Remedy Connected Universe series. This is all content that was released way back in 2021, but we're bringing it back to you in a more digestible form. That's right, the original video was nearly 3 hours long, which is just too damn long. Who in their right mind would ever watch that? Not you. That's why you're watching this. Unless you're one of those people who's watching it again, in which case, thank you. Thank you so much for watching it. I hope you learned something. And please, if you have some ideas that you've learned and formulated in your time with this series, I'd love to hear your fan theories, your sort of headcanon, whatever it is. I'm very curious what you have to say, because I've said a lot now and I feel like I'm talking too much. In our last video, we looked at the 2 DLC episodes for Control. That's the Foundation and AWE. And we talked about how all of it kind of links back to the larger themes of the Remedy Connected Universe, some of it dating all the way back to 1996 with Death Rally. The themes presented there went on to influence a lot of what would happen in 2001, 2003, 2010, 2016, 2019, all those years that Remedy games were released. And even though we've been talking about the Remedy Connected Universe for what feels like a million videos, there's still some questions. So in this video, we're going to talk about what is canon. Is it canon? Is it canon? When it comes to releasing video games with different publishers, the developer doesn't always retain the rights to the intellectual property, which is the characters, the themes, the stories, the names, and it can be hard to kind of navigate that as someone who likes to make references and likes to develop these meta-narratives and these shared universes or connected universes. How does Remedy navigate that? And do they navigate it at all? Do they just go, oh, well, we don't have the rights to that, we're just gonna leave it in the bin? Well, watch the video today and find out. We're gonna be looking at what is canon, we're gonna answer that question, and then there's a few leftovers, things that I wanted to present earlier in the series, but I didn't really know where to fit it in, so there's a bit of a grab bag section at the end of this video. And after that, you'll be all caught up, so we're going to be looking at a lot more Remedy stuff after this series ends, as we get into the summer and we hear more about Alan Wake 2. We're also going to eventually get more information on the Max Payne 1 and 2 remakes, which is so exciting, and we know that Remedy has several more games in development, so we're going to definitely be talking about that. So if you got pumped for Remedy and the Connected Universe because of this video series and this whole thing I've been doing over here, there's so much more to come. It's a great time to be a Remedy fan. And with that said, let's get into it. And on that note, I'd like to mention that I have seen a large number of Remedy fans online stating that Max Payne and Quantum Break cannot be part of the Remedy Connected Universe due to Remedy no longer holding the rights to those IPs. While the copyright issues do complicate those games' inclusion into the Remedy Connected Universe, it doesn't outright exclude them. In September of 2020, the director of Control did an AMA on Steam. When asked about how far back the Remedy Connected Universe goes, it was acknowledged that it's sometimes a bit harder to do with older games that don't belong to Remedy anymore, like Max Payne or Quantum Break. But having said that, Remedy does want people to feel a sense of unsaid connection between them, and if that's happening, it's not an accident. And in regards to the AWE graffiti in Quantum Break, it is stated that it is not a coincidence. Furthermore, when it comes to some of the ideas and theories that I've presented here that are open to debate, I think we can look to Sam Lake himself for some clarification. In the commentary track for Alan Wake Remastered, Sam Lake says this:
I very much think that you own this now, this story, this experience, this game. You are free to find your own answers from it. Your own theories. You are free to love and hate the parts that you love and hate. Nothing I say makes any theory more official than another. It's just my theory, what I was thinking when I wrote it, but maybe I didn't see or know what it really was about.
We've covered a lot in this video, and honestly, there's quite a bit more left still to cover. I've only given brief synopses of these games, and there are tons more Easter eggs, references, and direct ties to be found within all of them, and they all help to build the Remedy connected universe. Remedy has several projects in production at this moment, and I'm sure we'll see some updates soon that will begin to provide some answers for some of the mysteries we've covered here. I've done my best to make a clear distinction between facts and my interpretation of things, but this is a topic that a lot of other people have very nuanced opinions on, so I welcome any questions, debates, or discussions down in the comments. There is a great page on Reddit called Remedy Entertainment Mysteries. If you want to dive way deeper into a lot of what I've covered in this video, I highly suggest reading through this page and learning more. I worked on this video for a very long time, and I tried to cover as much as I could without getting too into the weeds, but there's a few leftover things that I'd like to point out that I didn't really know where to stick otherwise.
The chemist had been using the workstation when he died. The half-life of the lab rat had ended online, his password blinking on the screen. 665, neighbor of the beast. I need the code to the 7th floor door.
Sure, I know it. Wait, oh yeah, 667, neighbor of the beast, get it?
Yeah, I get it.
The code's BlackRock 665, neighbor of the beast, get it?
The Shoebox Whiteboard in Control. This is a whiteboard that you can find that has notes on Thomas Zane's shoebox. It explains that any item put inside of a shoebox is then immune from the effects of any altered world events. We also see that someone stole the shoebox from the FBC, which coincides directly with the events of the 2012 This House of Dreams blog, in which the shoebox was taken by AWE agents, or FBC agents, and then later was mysteriously brought back to Samantha's house. In Control, you can find Jack's Choice brand cigarettes, which seems to me to be a nod to Jack Joyce from Quantum Break. There's also Payne brand elevators, which is a clear reference to Mona and the elevators in Max Payne. When it comes to repeating and echoing themes in Remedy games, one thing that cannot be overlooked is that starting with Max Payne, all Remedy games center around themes of family and guilt. In Max Payne, Max is avenging the murder of his wife and daughter, who he was unable to protect. In Alan Wake, Alan is working to free Alice from the dark place because he failed to protect her. In Quantum Break, Jack Joyce believes that Paul Serene killed his brother William Joyce, and his motivation in the game is largely spurred by a desire to avenge or protect his brother. In Control, Jessie abandons her brother Dylan when FBC agents try to detain them, and her entire journey is centered around trying to rescue Dylan, first from the FBC and then from the Hiss. Sam Lake has said that these themes of family and guilt are powerful, universal tools that he likes to use in his work, and I think he does so in a way that doesn't ever feel repetitive, even though he repeatedly uses those themes in almost all of his writing. The scene in Alan Wake where town drunk Walter Snyder begs Alan not to leave him alone in the jail cell is a direct callback to Mona Sachs begging Max Payne to not leave her alone in a jail cell in Max Payne 2. And the uneasy alliance between Alan Wake and the kidnapper, Mott, early on in Alan Wake, is very reminiscent of the uneasy alliance between Max Payne and Mona Sachs in Max Payne 2. There are points in Quantum Break where Jack Joyce is asked to trust Martin Hatch, and in Control, Jessie is asked to trust the FBC, the same institution that kidnapped her brother. This idea of being pushed into trusting or working with your perceived enemies is another theme that you'll see in all Remedy games from Max Payne onward. I could do a whole other video on theories regarding Night Springs. American Nightmare and the This House of Dreams blog both mention characters watching Night Springs and then having some sort of paranatural visitors. In American Nightmare, Night Springs is on the TV when Barry becomes aware of Alan's presence. And as for Samantha, after watching Night Springs, two shadowy figures break into her house. In the AWE DLC, there's a brief moment where, behind the spiral door, Night Springs appears on a television, with a strange image of Dr. Darling that seems to almost be mocking Alan Wake. What all this means is open to interpretation, but it seems like televisions and television programs can be powerful paranatural tools or gateways. In the Signal DLC for Alan Wake, we can see a message on the wall in the bathroom that says Mira was here. This is in reference to John Mira from Address Unknown, the television show from Max Payne. The role of Ahti the janitor isn't fully explained in Control, but documents found in the game suggest that he is one of the most powerful figures in the oldest house, and clearly knows a lot more about the paranatural than he initially lets on. When Jesse first encounters Ahti, he says that she must be interviewing for the position of janitor's assistant. Despite becoming the director of the FBC, Ahti still treats Jesse as his assistant. At one point in the game, Ahti goes on vacation, and he's staying at a cabin in the town of Watery, which is very close to Bright Falls. Ahti is Finnish and clearly serves as a way for Remedy to put a bit of their Finnish heritage into the game. Although I found a lot of conflicting information on the topic, a lot of folklore and mythology refers to Ahti as the name of a Finnish god of water, or according to some sources, a god of fishermen and seal hunters. Water is a powerful element in the Remedy universe, and it'll be interesting to see how his role might expand in future games. The phrase "you have been warned" appears many times in Remedy works. We see it 3 times from True Tom Reimer in Death Rally. The phrase is the final line spoken by Alan Wake in the AWE DLC,
"You have been warned."
And Sam Lake has also used it in interviews and online announcements for years. There are certain key phrases like this that you'll find throughout Remedy games and related media, and it's a fun thing to look out for. This last part is getting into some theories that are really only starting to take shape, but Control puts a lot of emphasis on trees. It seems to all be alluding to the idea of trees found in different ancient belief systems. Trees like Yggdrasil, which in Norse mythology is a large sacred ash tree that's in the center of the cosmos. The tree extends into the heavens and also has very deep roots that extend into other worlds. Control features a section called the Ashtray Maze, which is a visually stunning mission set to the music of Old Gods of Asgard. The track playing during this part is called Take Control, and the lyrics essentially summarize the events of the game. There are 3 different lines of backward speech in the song. When played in reverse, 2 of the lines are clues or instructions for unlocking a secret area in the game. However, the 3rd line seems a bit more abstract. In their drunken fever states, see them both profoundly. The pyramid in the stone file becomes a spruce tree. Upon clearing the secret area alluded to in the song, we get a hotline call from Alan Wake that discusses the fate of Tor and Odin Anderson. The brothers and their band toured for a short time with Barry Wheeler as their manager. The Anderson brothers would disappear and go on wild benders after every gig. Their behavior was destructive not only to the tour, but also to their own bodies. It took them longer and longer to recover every time, and it didn't seem as if they were ever even truly recovering. Barry decided to call off the tour and used the remaining proceeds to open a care facility so that the brothers could live their final years in peace and comfort. The line, "in their drunken fever states, see them both profoundly," may have something to do with the Anderson brothers and their partying, but the pyramid in the stone file becomes a spruce tree isn't as clear. Documents and recordings located in the foundation of the oldest house suggest that it may have one time been a tree. This implies that the oldest house is able to change its appearance or form. Members of the FBC saw etchings of a tree in the foundation. While it's clear that there are some references and allusions to something being made with all this tree stuff, it's still unclear to me what it means for all the characters in the Remedy-connected universe. A video sequence shown twice during the AWE DLC gives us a brief glimpse at a map of Bright Falls, and on it we can see a sticky note that reads, "Cult of the Tree." We don't have any concrete information on what this means just yet, but there's definitely a mystery to be solved here. And that's it for now. Thanks a lot for sticking with me through this really long, really in-depth video. Like I said earlier, if you have your own questions, theories, comments, debates, whatever, please meet me down in the comments. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. We have plenty more videos that break down, review, and analyze some of our favorite games. And if you really want to help us out, go ahead and share this video with a friend who you think might enjoy it. Until next time, see ya!